Ryan, who on staff do you think would be most likely to survive a natural disaster?
I'm going to go with a science teacher because they know about the nature. And, so I'm going to go with Ryan Barden. I've seen his ability to make composting. And he knows a lot about kind of like earth science, and he's an earth science teacher, as well as he knows about so I figure he knows how to handle natural disasters because he studies them and helps kids learn about them, and he can grow his own food. So I feel like if the whole world goes to crap, he can still feed himself, versus I'm still running to the grocery store waiting to I'm starving to death basically. So I'm going to go with Ryan Barden.
Miss Ivory would be most likely to survive a natural disaster because she probably already has a spreadsheet somewhere with everything she would need to survive said natural disaster. And that spreadsheet will have tabs across the bottom for tornado, for hurricane, for flood, for the natural disaster I can even think of right now, but I guarantee you it's on her spreadsheet.
And I have my solar-powered battery pack so I can keep my phone charged so I can access the spreadsheet at any time. And also, I think that I live more in the wilderness than either of you, so I think that I have a little more chance of...
Generator?
I do have a generator. I have a generator. Yes, I live more... There's more land for planting things.
Yeah. I would definitely not survive because I'm a princess and I own it. So I would just hang on to Miss Ivory and do whatever she tells me to do. That's how I would survive.
Right? We do know where she lives.
Yep.
So I would survive because I'd just follow her.
That's right. We all have our roles here in the library.
That's right.
Apparently mine is natural disaster lady.
Mine is not natural disaster.
It's unanimous.
Okay.
I think Miss Jen Schrader would be most likely to survive a natural disaster because she is a go-getter and she is full of a lot of energy. So she would just be full of energy too. She'd probably be more energetic than the natural disaster.
I would say Mr. Johnson because I think he can live off the land and he's completely okay being on his own solo and live comfortably that way.
Megan Zawistowski.
Why?
Because she actually lived in the woods for 3 years working with adolescents, so she knows how to build shelters, filter water, build a fire, keep everyone safe. Hands down, Miss Z.
I think I would because I have lived in California with earthquakes. I have ridden out a hurricane in a beach house. I've just kind of lived through some disasters before, but also I know how to kind of live in the woods and live on very minimal things and kind of build shelters, and I can cook over fire, and so I have some experience.
I'm going to say Miss Trickett. Because she is well prepared for everything, and she probably has a binder or something that has natural disaster on it.
Mr. Donahue would be most likely to survive a natural disaster, or Mr. Greentree. Mr. Donahue because he is very knowledgeable about all things. He already has chickens, so he has a food source. Mr. Greentree would just he would somehow survive. I don't know how, but he would do it, and I would be a little scared, I think, as to what he would do to survive. But I know he would.
Me. I would be the most likely to survive a natural disaster. Certainly out of the English department, and also I feel, generally speaking, I'd be in the top probably 10 in the school.
Why?
First of all, it's a matter of elimination. Donahue, much too tall to survive a natural disaster. He'd be hitting his head on things. Also way too introspective. He'd be overthinking it. Rudder, very tough, but also same problem. Would get too much in their feelings about the natural disaster, I feel. Wouldn't be willing to do the things that, let's be honest, we all know what's going to need to be done to survive. I think Hitchman would be very good.
Okay.
I feel like Hitchman would be a survivor. Only problem with Hitchman is he'd worry too much about everybody else, and that would ultimately get him killed. You know what I mean? And then there's a lot of teachers that I feel like would be the ones, if it was a zombie thing, they would get bit, and then they wouldn't tell us they got bit, and then we'd have to put them down, and it would cause a real problem. Like The Last of Us, 100%? Yeah. But, I'm resourceful. I'm not in, great shape. I'm not Hitchman fit, but I'm no slouch when it comes to being able to, run from things. I've got a garden, so if I need to eat, I feel like I have the will that I could do the things that would need to be done, if you know what I mean. When Greentree inevitably gets bit and then doesn't tell anybody they got bit, I would put Greentree down in a minute. I could put you down, Greentree. So yeah, that's me, definitely.
I think I would be able to survive any natural disaster.
Why?
Because I'm scrappy and resourceful.
I'd have to go with Mr. Crisp because of his analytical thinking and his fatherly instincts to protect his child.